Iran launches new wave of missiles and drones against Israeli military targets, while Tel Aviv continues to target civilian, medical and energy Iranian facilities. Iranian Foreign Minister arrived in Turkey to attend the Arab League and Islamic Cooperation Organization Foreign Ministers meeting. And the Mexican government reported 1,154 Mexican citizens detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Alejandra Garcia from TeleSUR Studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. Iran launched a new wave of missiles and drones against Israel. Tel Aviv continues to target civilian, medical and energy facilities. The genocidal army attacked an ambulance and an energy center and claimed to have killed 5 important Iranian generals. Tehran confirmed 5 casualties but has not yet identified them. The Hebrew cities of Haifa, Beer Sheva, Tel Aviv, Ramat Gan and Holland keep their alarms and shelter indications active in light of the effectiveness of the Persian attacks. On Saturday morning, the Israeli forces set all alarms following the Iranian airstrike on the occupied territories within the Iron Dome. The Iranian drone hit a building overnight. However, the Zionist regime reported neither death nor injured in the attack. Moreover, Israeli defense officials confirmed they shot down the UAV. Nonetheless, evidence revealed they did it by using a helicopter, not with the efficacy of the Iron Dome. Thus, this Iranian blow proved once again the weakness of the Iron Dome. In Iran, Israel launches new attacks against the city of Tehran and the Isfahan nuclear facility. Isfahan authorities confirmed that the attacks on nuclear facilities did not cause any leaks of hazardous materials in the area. They added that most of the explosions occurred in air defense activities. In addition, Israeli armed forces attacked the cities of Mashhad and Ahvaz in the province of Khuzestan amid the activation of Iranian air defense. In Iraq, the People's Central Committee organized a march in solidarity with Iran and against the Israeli aggressions. The demonstrators raised Iranian flags to underscore the support of the Iraqi people to their brethren in the face of Zionist criminality. March participants urged peoples in free countries and also international institutions to force Israel to stop its aggressions. They also stressed the need to unite efforts and close ranks in the face of the conflict that threatens stability in the region. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi arrived in Turkey this Saturday early morning to attend the Arab League and Islamic Cooperation Organization Foreign Ministers meeting. Upon his arrival in the country, the head of the Persian diplomacy assured that the attack perpetrated by Israel against his installations in the midst of talks with the International Atomic Energy Agency is an unforgivable crime. This meeting was sponsored by Turkey and co-organized by the Arab League. The main objective of this summit, according to the Turkish Foreign Ministry, is to address the escalation of the war and coordinate the diplomatic and political response within the Islamic framework. On Saturday, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that Iran's response to Israeli attacks on its territory was legitimate and legal. Erdogan also condemned Israel's actions and banditry. Speaking at a meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in Istanbul, Erdogan said that Israel is trying to sow chaos throughout the region.
İsrail'in Gazze, Lübnan Israel's attacks on Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen, Syria, and most recently Iran can be described as acts of banditry. The measures taken by Iran in self-defense to protect its people against Israel's state terrorism are entirely natural, legitimate, and legal. We are fully aware of what Netanyahu is trying to do. Israel believes they can establish their security by plunging the region into fire, conflict, chaos, and tears. He is chasing a complete illusion. Israel cannot ensure its own security by threatening the security of its neighbors.
During a session of the United Nations Security Council, Russia's permanent representative Vasily Nebenzia condemned Israel's offensive against Iran. He accused Tel Aviv of ignoring reports from the International Atomic Energy Agency. The Russian diplomat argued that Israel had set itself up as judge and jury by justifying its attacks on the basis of unfounded accusations and compared the situation to the invasion of Iraq in 2003, which was driven by the United States under false pretext. He also pointed out that countries such as the United Kingdom, France, and Germany acted as accomplices by pressuring the IAEA and backing the Israeli narrative. He also emphasized that Iran is subject to the most rigorous inspections of any IAEA member state and reiterated the need to respect sovereignty and international law to avoid an escalation of conflict in the region. Former United States President Bill Clinton says Washington should not allow the slaughter of civilians in the Middle East so that Netanyahu may remain in power. The former U.S. president said the Israeli prime minister had long wanted to fight against Iran because that would allow him to stay in office forever. He recalled that Netanyahu has been in government for 20 years. Clinton said that opting for an undeclared war where the victims are civilians who only want to live a dignified life is not a good solution. European social organizations protest against the rearmament of Europe and in favor of world peace. The organizers of the protests say that the activity is part of the demonstrations called from June 21st to 29th against the North Atlantic Treaty Organization summit. Activists warn that the conflict between Israel and Iran threatens to extend warfare to a global level. Protesters carried banners with the slogan "No to Rearmament." The co-president of Nicaragua, Rosario Murillo, urged to promote peace among the peoples worldwide in view of the complex international scenario between Iran and Israel. The leader stressed the need to ensure the welfare of the peoples amid a complex and agitated world with challenges with the rules of coexistence among regions. In this sense, Murillo spurred to maintain humanity and foster common sense. Likewise, she called for defending peace, sovereignty, and human rights in the face of the threats and tragedies in the world. And now we have a short break coming up, but first remember you can join us on TikTok at TeleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. On Saturday, Israeli forces continued to target civilians in Gaza. Health authorities registered 21 killed, some while waiting for humanitarian aid. After attacking Iran and Lebanon, occupation forces targeted hundreds of Palestinians who were hoping to obtain some food in what it is being described as U.S. and Israeli hunger traps. Zionist artillery shelled Rafah, Nuseirat, Zaytun, Khan Yunis, and Shuhaja. Doctors at Al-Auda Hospital also confirmed dozens of injured from the same locations. According to the latest update, Israeli genocidal forces have killed and wounded more than 186,000 Palestinians to date, most of them women and children. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, warned Saturday that the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip is turning increasingly into a catastrophe. The entity underscored that the siege imposed by the Netanyahu administration has prevented the entry of vital supplies such as food, fuel, and medicines. In this sense, UNRWA stressed that for over 100 days, Israeli forces had been averting the provision of diesel in the territory so that the functioning of hospitals and emergency services had been at risk. In this regard, UNRWA spokesperson remarked that the delivery of humanitarian aid must be conducted in a broad and safe manner. Likewise, the United Nations diplomat noted that the United Nations agencies were the only ones that could guarantee such process. In Sudan, the aggressions of paramilitary rapid support forces made the people go through famine. In this context, social movements warned that the inhabitants of El Fasher city were suffering from that scourge. Activists further pointed out that the displaced people in the Samsam camp were formally declared this year in a situation of famine. Meanwhile, the city's surroundings had been taken over by the paramilitary forces despite the efforts made by both the Sudanese army and the militias of the governor of the Darfur region to defend them. Amid this scenario, the Resistance Committee of El Fasher city called the government for immediate intervention to provide basic materials and a sustainable solution to the population. On Friday, Russian President Vladimir Putin reiterated his call for Ukraine to recognize the incorporation into Russia of the People's Republics of Donetsk and Luhansk, as well as the provinces of Zaporozhye and Kherson, following the referendums held in 2022. He also insisted on the recognition of Crimea annexed in 2014. Putin thus emphasized the importance of respecting the will of the people as the basis of democracy. He also pointed out that failure to recognize these results could lead to the resumption of armed conflict. The Russian leader affirmed that Ukraine must commit to maintaining neutrality, refraining from military alliances, and guaranteeing the denuclearization, demilitarization, and denazification of its territory.
С наименьшими потерями. Происходит определенная логика боевых действий. И войска оказываются на разных территориях. Но, знаете, у нас есть...
Venezuela's Minister of Foreign Trade, Coromoto Godoy Calderón, highlighted the importance of strengthening trade between Russia and the South American country within the framework of the International Economic Forum held in St. Petersburg. Minister Calderón highlighted the solid strategic partnership between the two countries based on close political cooperation and the closeness between their leaders. She also highlighted the vision of a multipolarity represented by Russia, a valuable alternative in a world of conflicts. The diplomat emphasized bilateral cooperation in different development sectors. In this regard, she underlined the need to promote trade more strongly. In this regard, she reported that there are opportunities to expand bilateral trade. The authorities are working with the Russian side to achieve this and boost the South American country's economy. Welcome back to From the South. The Mexican government reported that since the beginning of Donald Trump's administration, a total of 1,154 Mexican citizens have been detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Mexican Foreign Minister Juan Ramón de la Fuente highlighted the government's efforts to provide consular assistance to detained compatriots as well as to strengthen services aimed at the migrant community in the territory. De la Fuente emphasized that migration is a human right and underscored the importance of initiatives such as the Migrants' Rights Handbook and the External Legal Advice Program. Recent migration raids have generated widespread protest in various cities in the United States, where activists and civil organizations have rejected the migration policies promoted by the Trump administration, describing them as inhumane. In Mexico, after Hurricane Eric passed through, the government of Oaxaca reported that more than 2,000 homes were affected by the overflowing of the Los Perros River. Authorities indicated that the river rose due to currents from the mountainous area, causing flooding for more than 20 hours in at least 4 sectors of the city. Local authorities and residents began cleaning up efforts due to the extensive property damage. The phenomenon took hundreds of families by surprise, as they were not warned in time about the increase in the river's flows, which led to significant losses of property, goods, and household items. In this regard, the authorities are maintaining operations to assess damage, provide support to those affected, and avoid any risk in the event of possible residual rains. In central China, authorities reported Saturday 3 missing persons in Longshan County, Hunan Province, as a result of strong storms which are currently battering the region. In this context, local officials specified that the missing victims had been trapped in a subway parking garage due to severe flash floods triggered by torrential rains. In addition, they unfolded that the fire department had been conducting search and rescue operations to find them. Meanwhile, the Longshan department warned that the water level in the Guoli River rose, making residential houses submerged up to 3 meters. Likewise, in Anhui Province, rescue teams had been deployed in the flooded areas with sandbags, and workers had cleared over 20 downed trees that blocked roads across the city. In Peru, Congress dismissed without debate 4 constitutional complaints filed against President Dina Boluarte. 3 of these were related to the death recorded during the social protest against her that took place between the end of 2022 and early 2023, while the 4th complaint accused the president of alleged misuse of power by taking on responsibilities that belong to former President Pedro Castillo. The evaluation reports recommended that the cases be dismissed, considering that the alleged acts did not constitute a violation of the Constitution or crimes of office. The United Nations declared Haitian criminal groups responsible for violations and abuses against children. Their annual report on children and armed conflict already listed the violent criminal groups coalition living together as forcibly recruiting children as young as 8 years old. In the last year, this crime against children has increased by 70%, driven by extreme poverty and social disintegration. Children are used as informants, lookouts, and fighters. There have also been terrifying reports of collective sexual abuse and sexual enslavement of girls, especially by violent criminal groups. The list of abuses against minors signed by the United Nations includes more than 5 crimes. Cuba and Italy developed irrigation system that allows for rational water use and precise irrigation in various agroecological farms in Havana. Italian researchers explain that the system works in a simple way, and each station is equipped with a technology that measures soil temperature and moisture. They added that the effect of climate change will not have a negative impact on crops thanks to the system's technology. The initiative is the result of a collaboration between the Cuban Ministry of Agriculture and the Agricultural Business Group and other institutions. As every year, thousands of people witness the summer solstice on Saturday, June 21st at Stonehenge, near Salisbury in Wiltshire, United Kingdom. At solstice, sunrises do not change constantly as usual. In turn, they stand still for a couple of mornings in a row. In fact, this astronomical event sets the official start of summer alongside the longest day in the Northern Hemisphere each year by the time the sun reaches its highest northeastern point, lightening the Hillstone of the World Heritage Site. Subsequently, Stonehenge manager asserted that the over 30 degrees Celsius temperatures did not prevent visitors to enjoy approaching the monumental stones for free from June 20th, 7 p.m. to June 21st, 8 a.m. Therefore, residents, tourists, and followers of pagan philosophies gathered together to watch the unique phenomenon. And like this, we have come to the end of This Is Brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media. We are on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok as well. For TeleSUR English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.